So this is nearly it. We are at the end pretty much now, and that's why I've done it this way, in a pre-recorded, wider, longer format, because this is the penultimate one for this academic year. The next one I'll do will probably be when we get our results for everything, and that should be about mid-May. And then, yeah, next academic year, I don't see the need to keep these going over the summer, like, oh, I've read this piece, read this. No, it's not for that, really. It's during the year, so yeah, this is probably the penultimate one, unless anything weird happens. But as of Wednesday, yeah, that's it. We had our exam, and like I say, it's just a waiting game for the results. I had the results for the academic poster, which means that that module is also done, and I know, or I think I've worked out my weighted average correctly, because it was a 75-25, not a 50-50 split between the two assignments. So I got 80 for the poster, and I've worked out 74 as the weighted average, which, yes, first equivalent technically, but this year is pass or fail. There is no need to look at it in that regard, apart from just for how well am I doing? Am I able to synthesize the information and apply that learning in, whatever format of the assignments? And that's fine. There are people in the room who have done the best they can. I hope everyone has, to be honest. And I never, if anyone from the class is watching this, I never ever wanted to make it sound like I was arrogant or putting others down or anything like that. No cockiness was intended. It may sometimes have come off as a humble brag, like, I've just done what I thought I needed to do, and I've got this amazing grade. No, it's never been that. And like I say, I've never intended it to come off as anything other than surprise. I started this year with an expectation that I'd just 50-60, somewhere in that window, that's fine. That's a decent enough grade to start me up and, for the next few years, a good basis, a good foundation, if you will, from this foundation year. But that isn't what happened. I've somehow been able to excel, and yes, that's because I've been given the support through the Disabled Student Allowance, which has provided me materials and meaningful support to put me on an even playing field. This is how I would be if I didn't have my disabilities, basically, or as close as I can. So this isn't because, I've got all these things. Those things have enabled me to get at the same level as everyone. I had the facility to have extensions if my mental health or whatever dipped so far that I couldn't get them in on time, but I never had to use it this year. We don't know what the next few years will be. I may need to use that. But knowing I have these things in place, knowing that, like I say, I can be brought up to a level playing field. There's a lot of us in that room who had, learner support things in place. And, some people are like, I've got this, and this, I feel like I'm cheating. It's like, no, because without it, you wouldn't be able to be graded at an even level. These things are to enable you to be at that level. Nothing more, nothing less. But like I say, it's never meant for me. Anytime I've been like, maybe in the cahoots, because we started to lean into it, it's like, I'm going to be top of the podium. So I was like, fine, you're being like weird about it, so I'm going to lean into it. But aside from that, there has been no, I'm better than you mentality. That is certainly not me at all. But this year has definitely had ups and downs. I started this year, and I may have said this in a previous one, I just want to go there, get this year out of the way, get the degree, all that kind of stuff. I'm not here to make friends, I'm here for qualifications. Day one, pretty much, that went out the window, and I 180'd because I have the need to please through my, issues in life. It's something that I know and acknowledge, but I didn't think I'd lean into it as hard because I also do not like social situations if I can avoid them. I can blag it and pretend because I've been a performing artist for a long time. I've learned how to mask, if you will, and get through, like a lot of people with neurodivergence. We learn to adapt to the world that isn't built for us so that we can at least survive in it. That went to a more heavy place than I intended. But no, so yeah, that's what I did. I completely flipped around and wanted everyone to succeed at the cost of my own well-being. When I had the blowout that I'm sure I mentioned in semester 2, that was a reset button. And I needed it because I was trying to please everyone without looking after myself first. I was going, yes, I'll do that for you. I'll stress myself out and push. But I should have been looking after me first. You can't look after everyone or anyone unless you're fine yourself. And finally, I learned it. My mental health mentor, also through DSA, has been trying to instill this in me for a while. And I'm sure she punched the air with joy after our meeting when I went, yeah, I've realised I need to stop just bending over backwards for everyone. Not that I'd bent over backwards necessarily. I wasn't doing people's assignments for them or anything like that. It was just my desire to bring others up overweighed, or that's not a word, I'm sure, but it seemed to have more prominence in my mind than me until that twist happened. But on the last day, we went out for a drink at the Ember Lounge. We actually went on university grounds, and I don't know if there was a subconscious element of right now I feel that we genuinely belong here. I know people have gone across to various parts of campus, but it definitely felt like this is us going, yes, we belong now. We've done this. Everyone who came for that had an attitude of, I was expecting a lot worse. Even though we were prepared very well before. I think, a lot of us haven't done exams for a decade or more. For me, it's 2 decades and change since I last did an exam. So I had no idea what to expect in a specific sense, and certainly not in a more modern sense where I could actually use a laptop. So it was all very new and different. And I think that was part of, or a big part of, a lot of people's anxiety and trepidation. And there's some people who haven't done traditional schooling, so it's not something they're used to at all. But we all did the best we could, and we all knew that we couldn't have done any more. That's the feeling I got anyway. I don't want to put words in people's mouths, of course, but it definitely felt like we've done what we can. Everything else now is just waiting. If we have to resit, fine. I did get told that one person apparently just wrote one sentence and went. I don't know if the essay question wasn't the one that they were focusing on, so they were like, I'll do a resit and it'll probably be the other topic. I don't know. I'd love to know, and if you watch this, you know who you are, I'm sure. Please just let us know somehow. I don't use one of the things, just find me directly. But still, yeah. There were a lot of people in that room who were probably terrified at the start and chill at the end, and I was the same. I was in a separate room because of needing extra time and a laptop. There's 3 of us in that room. I was the first one to leave. I didn't use all of my extra time, but because I'd prepared for it, I sat there and I went, yeah, I know exactly what I'm doing. I know what I need to put down. Looked at the questions first, gave myself a breath every now and again. I was sat by the window, so I just took a swig of water, looked outside, reset. And that's what I needed to do. And totally not going to lie, this helped as well. But again, it's not a performance-enhancing drug situation. It's a level playing field. Because if I was sat there in pain or couldn't focus or anything like that, it wasn't going to work out for me. So I was using the tools available to me to thrive. And like I say, I'm talking about this as though it's a foregone conclusion, everything's going to be fine. But maybe it is. I didn't think I'd get 80 on the academic poster. I didn't think that I'd done enough to justify that. I thought a low 70s would be fine. And this has been my thing throughout. So if I assume that, I've got 60 or something for the exam, I've probably got 80 again or something. That's how I kind of feel. But we'll know when it comes out. And I know that we've got an idea for when the results are done, the whole year. We can either go and celebrate or commiserate as appropriate. But I want to say now that if we do that, I'm not going to, if anyone's like, oh, I've got to resit, I'm not going to make them feel bad. They're all going to feel bad enough. I'm going to bring them up. Because at that point, I'll probably be fine. If I've got anything I've got to resit, I'll probably commiserate with them. But I will support those people. If they need anything over the time, help with preparing stuff or revising, I will happily provide that, because at that point I can. I have been in contact with my mentor, and she's going to help. Instead of weekly, during the course or the year itself, we're going to go to fortnightly. So she can kind of give me ideas of stuff to read. I've got a plan. We're going to sort of look at reading stuff. I'm probably going to get in contact with the uni to find that out as well a bit later on, maybe today or the next few days. I've got a lot happening end of this week into next week. But yeah, this year, ups and downs, it's been a fun ride. There are a lot of people in that room who I will fight for. And to be honest, most of them actually don't need me to fight for them. They're much more able than I am. But I still will. I will back them. I'll stand in the corner at least and cheer them on. That I can do. But yeah, I really hope that everyone succeeds. I really hope that everyone
who put the effort in gets what they deserve. And yeah, I could ramble about this year for ages. That's why doing the shorts was a good idea, wasn't it? Damn, that was it. Right. But anyway, I'm going to wrap up. There will be another video later on today where I'll talk about something else as a big wrap up. So I hope you join me for that and everything else. But yeah, until next time, as always, thanks for watching and take care.